Okay, I opened up SPSS and I'm going to import data from Excel. And then uh, I have it in, let's see, oh, downloads. All right, probably could have put that in an easier place. So I think I have it called Rural Trends. Okay, just taking a peek there. Things should be good. I prefer not to remove leading spaces. That all should be good. Okay, and whoops, there we go. All right, a couple things I like to do is first of all, let's see the types of variables. Um, all the enrollment are scale variables. That's nice. Let me go back to the data view. So one thing I like to do is shorten this. I'm going to use the loc24 just because that's what I trust. Um, yeah. Another thing that could be analyzed would be the 24-25 data and just look for discrepancies and then investigate and see if those adjustments seem reasonable or if there's errors there. So 24 is the data I trust. I'm going to go create a new variable. So let's do um, I'm gonna put locale 24 and this will just determine if it's rural, suburban, city, or town. Okay. Basically, if it's 41, 2, or 43, it'll become a 4. Mm, there's an easier way to do this. Let me go to compute variable. I'm going to take 24, and yeah, it doesn't need to do. Okay, let's check that. All right, so basically that just recopied everything, and then what I want to do is change it so that it's just one. Um, all right, so now I can even change it to, I mean, it doesn't really matter, but if I make it numeric, there we go. So this will tell me if things are what things are the main locale instead of the 12 locale code. It's the main locale. All right, so now I want to get trends over time, and I want to do this by let me see first of all what doesn't have. Really? Okay, so it all has a value here. Looking at, so what I'm planning to do is aggregate all the currently rural schools into a single enrollment number and then see what that number is across the years. And then the same for suburban, town, and urban. Um, let's see this real quick. I'm pausing to think about data like this. Alabama Youth Services. So this one's really not going to affect anything because it's not going to add anywhere, but something more like, mm, I don't know, stuff like this where, well, here we're getting into some American Samoa and BIE. Um, and we have ones where there weren't any things reported for several years, and then for 4 years we had enrollments, and then nothing reported after that. And I'm trying to think like how much that's going to throw off the overall totals. Um, I think I'm just going to not worry about, I'm going to assume that those are going to be some pretty small amounts. I can run another analysis where I screen out, so I have to have data on every year. But in some sense, if a school closed down or open up, I want to track that in the data too. So I'm talking through some high level decisions here, but let me just go through the basics of the data analysis. So what I want to do is aggregate, and I want to make my break variable this new locale, and then I want to look each of these. I don't want the mean. I want to get the sum of each of those, and create a new data set, trends, aggregate. File is not set. I should have sorted that first. So I'm going to sort file before aggregating. And this should be a very small file here. It's looking reasonably well there. And this is just my anal side. I don't like decimals on student totals. Okay. So there we get our student totals, and then we could track that in a trend. I'm trying to think. I want them to be flipped as well. Okay, I'm really doing this the manual way, but since there's only 10 years or so of data, it's no biggie. And then I'm trying to think on graph. I would tend to feel a little more comfortable in Excel creating graphs, but let me try it here and see if we can get a nice line graph for these different, yeah, well, go ahead and name these two. So this is going to be urban, or city is the official name. Maybe I can't replace them with labels. For now I'm just going to see what happens. So I'm going to do a graph. Let's do a chart builder. Yeah, I don't think this is right. Let me just put it into Excel. So I really could have aggregated in Excel with this process. Now I have a bit more easy control. So this is city, this is suburban, town, this is rural. And then this is, I think it was what, 2014 was the first year. Yeah. And then we'll keep that trend going up. then double check here that 2014 is 157. All right. And see if we can get a nice chart there. Spark lines. I'm not done that. Although I suppose more accurate even would be scatter plot. Doesn't imply trends that aren't there. So this would be public school enrollment by locale over time. And just a real quick look at that. Looks like city decreased a bit there right around COVID. Not a big surprise. Suburban also decreased in COVID, but then maybe bounced up a little bit more. It's really hard to, those are pretty minor trends. I'm thinking about how to visualize this in a more useful way. Rural, here's the key one we wanted to look at. Kind of went up and down, up and down. I mean, I guess I can just look at the numbers too. So it was 8 million, and it's currently 775. So there is a downward trend. A big chunk looks like it came. Looks like it came right before COVID. Interestingly, although the 18-19 data would have been collected in 2020, so that could have been a data collection issue. See some growth here, maybe some rebound from COVID, then a little bit of fall off, and then this fall off. Again, I'm not sure if I trust that, but this fall off certainly would have been documented. And that might be, what is that, 7.8 million, 7.8 million, 40,000 drop. That certainly could be explained by shift to charter schools and cyber charters outside of the normal public school system. Okay, so that was the process.